I was at a stag do this weekend.
Oh yeah.
It was mercifully United were playing on the Saturday, on the Monday.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to miss it for the stag.
Yeah, I hope you would have done.
Yeah, I would have missed it for the stag, definitely. Definitely. No, yeah, I would have done.
This is actually the third time on the podcast that one of us
has
been
to a
to a
stag
stag do.
We're in that time of life, you know.
I suppose so, yeah.
It was a good time. I think I did pretty well. Held my own. Drank a lot of blue VK.
Oh, nice.
Which is
that a bit of a throwback for you?
Yeah, it missed massively. Not since the days of Corporation.
Corporation Pop?
No, Corporation the club.
Oh, right.
But that was knockoff of VK, I think. They had in there.
Probably, yeah. Or isn't VK knockoff WK?
It is, but I'm sure they would dispute that. You know, it's sort of a Pepsi Cola sort of thing.
Yeah, probably.
Did the fastest zip line in the world.
Wow. Is it always the fastest, or did you do it the fastest?
No, it's always the fastest. About 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
And then I did some downhill kart racing.
Was that 100 miles an hour as well?
Oh, I felt it. No, that was like 20 miles an hour. Pretty standard stuff. Stag do stuff, I think.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Bangor City. That's where we were, the city of Bangor. But Bangor City, the football team, had won the league that day. And so they were all out in Bangor having a merry old time.
What league is that? What level of Welsh football are they in?
Well, they don't have Wikipedia or a Twitter, so quite low.
Hard to tell.
But
West Didsbury and Charlton have a Twitter account.
Yeah, but they've got Antonio Valencia playing for them, you know.
No, that's within Town.
Sorry. Yeah. No, they have a Twitter, but it's not been tweeted on for like a couple of years.
But even like a local Sunday League team should have a Twitter
account. Oh, they should
account.
do. Yeah, they should do.
I'm not saying I don't believe you that they don't.
No, I tried because I tried to find them so that I could maybe impress one of them, being like, "Wow, have you won the North Wales Central and District League or whatever?"
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any record of them online.
Huh?
Could have been an elaborate ruse.
Yeah, they're making it up. Is it for a TV show or something?
Maybe it's like Ted Lasso or something.
Yeah, fictional.
Well, keep an eye
Welsh,
out. See if I'm in Ted Lasso.
It's not the Welsh Premier.
No. I presume
they'd be in the Champions League qualifiers if they'd won that.
Yeah, I presume all of them have Wikipedia pages.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think the Cardiff Met Uni are in the Welsh Premier, which is quite impressive, really.
But no, a good time was had by all.
Good
until the drive home, when my clutch broke immediately upon leaving the car park. But I still got home 140 miles or something. Which is impressive.
Did you just stay in the same gear the whole time?
Well, I got it into fourth gear. And then sort of managed from there.
Yeah.
It was mostly fourth gear. Then we got stuck in traffic at one point. I was like, it may never go in gear again.
Yeah.
And then I'm in the middle of the motorway.
Yeah.
But it did go in gear. So it was fine. So I got home.
Well, I mean, it was fine. It was all right.
Yeah, it's 600 quid. It's not that fine. But,
well,
we live and learn.
Because of the earnings from this podcast, as we've just been having a look at before we started recording, that'll be water off a duck's back.
Oh, yeah. I'll pay that off by... the time I'm 60, I think. The current
if we keep doing the podcast still then.
Well, we've said we're not in it for the rewards.
It's a good job we've said that. We're not in it for the astronomical viewing figures.
No, or the fame or fortune.
No, certainly not.
We're in it for the love of the game.
Yes, the podcasting game or the football game.
But why not both?
Yeah, I think I'm in it for the love of the football game. But no, it probably is a bit of both. It's always a bit of both. If I didn't like podcasts, I wouldn't be doing this.
No. You're not the Ben White of football podcasts.
No.
Who just turns up and does it and has no interest in the medium. You do listen to it.
I do.
I think I don't, but I think you listen to more football podcasts than you watch football. It might be close. It's close for me. What is it?
No. Well, are we talking in terms of numbers of podcast episodes versus numbers of games or time?
Well, I was thinking time spent.
Yeah, I think slightly more football.
Yeah,
but podcasts are much easier to watch, or much easier to access.
And when you're driving as well, it's frowned upon to put the match on.
Yeah, there's rarely a match on when I'm driving.
Yeah,
I'm at home. I'll make sure I'm available for the match.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is comparable.
So love of both.
Yes.
Should we crack on?
We should. Hello and welcome back to Red Army Reaction, where after some technical difficulties, I think we're ready, but we've not got long today, so we might have to be a...
Yeah, if it ends
slightly...
abruptly, you know what's well, you don't know what's happened. What's happened is we've run out of storage on my phone for some reason, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, you'll just have to do a little editor's note.
Yeah.
That was all we had time for.
Yeah, we'll see how we go on.
We will. Good evening yesterday, Monday night. We're recording this a day later than usual, as usual. We're recording it a day later than usual.
Yeah, it's been...
because of United's fixtures.
Yeah, good day. Can't really... I mean, people have complained online about the tactical choices made, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've made this point on here, but Michael Carrick said after the game that at this point in the season, it's just results that matter, which has been said about every single point of every season, that it's just results that matter, because that is actually true. That it is just results that matter.
Like over the course of the whole season, if the results are good in every point of the season, no one cares about anything else.
No. So it's the results that matter. We got a good result.
Point of the season, the results are what's important.
Brentford are a decent side. They've taken points off good teams this season.
Yeah, and I thought they played well.
They did play well, yeah. A lot's been made of Matthias Jensen's performance. He apparently had a very good game.
What do you mean apparently?
I didn't.
You said that like you didn't watch it.
I didn't rate him above other midfielders on the pitch, but lots of people have been waxing lyrical about him. I thought he was okay. He got a good goal.
Very good goal.
But I think the United players acquitted themselves admirably.
Did the necessary. Well, I thought from the start it was a pretty open game. Both teams started quite well. We were on top for the first sort of 15 minutes probably.
Yeah.
Deservedly took the lead. I don't know how we didn't take the lead earlier.
Immediately.
Yeah, you said to me before the game that Ahmad hadn't got a goal or assist in the Premier League since Bournemouth, which was mid-December.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to end that streak.
Yeah.
When I've seen it back, he puts it in a good place, and the defender wasn't there when he hit it, and the defender does well to block it. But you can't really make any excuses for not scoring a chance like that.
No, he should just leather it near post. He's trying to place a finish to sort of guarantee that it goes in, and has overcomplicated it.
And it didn't go in.
It's more about what's the quickest way to get it in the net at that point. Just leather it.
Yeah, even he could have taken a touch. You know, the keeper was not getting back up.
Yeah.
And he has probably tried to do the perfect finish, and it's backfired on him. But thankfully, it wasn't too long after that Casemiro scored again. Yeah,
9 for the season now in the league.
More than he's ever got before. He got 6 in the league in his first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
In total. Every time he scores, I think I said it. The first time he scored after it was announced he was leaving, which was probably Spurs at home, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, I wonder if that'll be his last goal for United. And then he scored about 5 since then.
Yeah.
Basically scores in every game now. That probably wasn't his last goal for United.
No, I'm now on the other side where I'd be surprised if that was his last goal. We saw from him.
We might as well talk about Casemiro now. The atmosphere around him was very jubilant at Old Trafford. His song, which I've said before, I don't like his song. It's rubbish.
Yes.
If we had a great song for Casemiro, then I would have. That would have been great yesterday.
Yeah, maybe he'd be staying.
But the Casemiro did ring out, and he was probably the player of the match. I think Sky gave it to him.
Yeah, yeah.
One more year. Casemiro was also sung quite a lot. What do you think about that? Couldn't you even put it on his Instagram caption? 1 more year, Casemiro.
Well, he's a cheeky guy, isn't he?
Doesn't care.
I think the club and Casemiro poured cold water on it, and rightly so. I think that as soon as anyone hints that there's a possibility, then everyone will assume that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced it won't happen. I think it's, it's better to go out on your own terms.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sold in disgrace in a year's time, because he's got, or, if he would have to, he could sign in 1 more year contract, but you don't want him to leave at the end of next year and think, thank God he's, what a waste of time that was.
Yeah.
I think it's better to go out on a high. And we probably could still offer stuff next season with the added games, but I think they have roundly concluded they can't come to an agreement on a salary that works for everyone, and that's
There's obviously an offer on the table. The club, I think, would have liked to give him one more year, but United seem to have put this policy in place that there is a point at which we will walk away, which didn't seem to be the case with the previous regime, and that's all right. You know, Casemiro would have wanted to stay, but they didn't make an offer that he felt he could accept. He has to do what's best for him, and the club rightly has to do what's best for them. Like, we've definitely fallen for this sentimentality in the past as a club.
Yes.
And I'll be very sad to see him go, and the romantic in me would love to see us give him another year and do it again, but it's the right time.
Yeah,
and especially on the money he's on, even though the way he's playing at the minute, if he was to play like this every week for the next year, maybe it'll be worth the wages he's on. But it's unlikely. The age he is.
Yeah.
If he's not willing to take a drastic pay cut, which, you know, that's his right, then it's good that we get to enjoy this ride of him leaving, you know.
Yeah, I do think also that the story that isn't being told is the fact that a lot was made yesterday of our out of possession game and how sort of we sat off a bit in the second half. You know, we had an extra defender on and we didn't press in the midfield very much.
Yeah.
And that's because of Casemiro. If you know, Kobe is very energetic and would press much higher up the field, but you're so, you know, we saw in the first half there was a couple of turnovers where we were massively exposed and they were able to play through the middle, and if Thiago had his shooting boots on, it could have been a very different story.
Yeah.
We changed that tactically in the second half to keep Mainu and Casemiro much closer together.
Yeah.
And that limited us on the ball and off the ball. You know, we couldn't be as proactive in the second half.
Yeah.
I do think that with a young, energetic midfielder, a ground eater who can really move in the base of midfield, does allow us to be a lot more proactive with a lot less risk. And so while I do think he is a useful profile to have, I think he is tactically it's limiting the options we have. I think along with the fullbacks, I think they are something that people aren't really considering is that I think the tactical style is being dictated by the players we have.
Yeah.
And that's something that people would like to see change for a full season next year.
Yeah.
Whether with this coach or without it.
Yeah, and with Casemiro is obviously a fan favourite. And he's, you know, a legendary midfielder, one of the best that we've seen in the last sort of 30 years in football.
Yeah.
But we can't let that affect. Sometimes you do have to be cold and look at how good he is.
Yeah.
How good he's going to be, how long he can keep that up. And it is, you know, with the wages he's on as well, if we're looking to sign a replacement for him, whoever it is, even though they'll be very expensive in the transfer fee, they'll probably be on lower wages than Casemiro
absolutely,
is. Because he's one of the highest paid players in the league. So I'm sad to see him go, but it's the right call.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, he'll get that treatment every game from now to the end of the season, and they'll probably keep asking, are you going to do another year? And I hope the temptation isn't too great for the club to give in to fan sentiment. You know, give in to fan sentiment on some things, you know, but not on this. I think the head needs to prevail.
And you look at City, they let De Bruyne go when a lot of people would have given him another year. Kyle Walker as well.
Yeah. This summer, John Stones and Bernardo Silva are both leaving. Both won many, many leagues there. Sometimes
you have to make those difficult decisions, and I don't think City are looking back and wishing they'd kept De Bruyne at this stage, really.
No, I don't think so. It'll be sad. It will be sad to see him go, but hopefully we can, you know, see an overhaul in that department of the pitch that allows us to play much more expansive football. That's what we all want to see.
Yeah. So we'll go back to talking through the game, I suppose. Brentford were really on top between the two goals, I would say.
Yeah.
They created a lot of good chances. They got at us through the middle, like you say.
Yeah.
Quite a few times. And Igor Thiago. Yeah, no, Igor Thiago. Yeah. Had 3 golden chances where he ended up not even shooting from any of them, which is quite bizarre. And he's the second top scorer in the league.
Yeah.
So we did ride our luck really with that.
Yeah.
I do. I wasn't. We were down the other end at the match, so watching it live, I didn't really
sense the
sense
danger.
it. Sense what trouble we were in. You could see that Lammens had made a few saves, but really they were right on top of us in between the two goals.
Yeah.
Which is a slight concern. And then we went up the other end and went 2-0 up. And then at half time, well, we touched on it before, but he brought off Ahmad for Mazraoui, which is on the surface a very negative change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think if we were 1-0 up, then you could rightly criticise that. But a 2-0, it's an important game against a tough side. I think it was probably the right call.
Yeah.
Because they could very easily have got, if they'd have scored, in the first 10 minutes of the second half, we might well not have won that game.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
if Jensen hadn't put it in from 30 yards 5 minutes before the end, I don't think anyone would be criticising that, really. You'd say, fair enough, that's what needed to do to shore up the game.
We had this debate sort of constantly with Ruben Amorim that having more defenders doesn't necessarily make you more defensive.
Yeah.
And you can have having a more solid platform allows you to sort of springboard. And I think it was a deliberate tactical change. It wasn't a panic move of, Christ, they've had 3 shots, we need to shore up. And, it's not like throwing, taking off a centre forward for a centre half with 20 minutes to go just to have an extra body in there. It was, we're switching to a different system. We're going to have Mbermo, Šeško and Bruno as a front 3. And that worked. It did. It shut them down. It allowed us to, we had a few half chances on the counter. We should have been more clinical and we could have probably nicked another goal.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of sort of, I'm going to say poor decision making, but a lot of hesitancy, I think, when bombing forward.
Yeah, there was Ahmad scored a goal that was offside.
Yeah.
But maybe the pass could have come a little earlier. And we had, obviously, the Ahmad one early on as well.
Yeah. Well, I was talking second half.
Oh, right. Well, ignore me then.
No, there was...
Just pay more attention.
It was a deliberate tactical change that worked, and we've seen that in several games this season under Carrick, making tweaks either by changing personnel or changing instructions to change the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
And it's something that is contributing to his exemplary record.
Yeah. And making that kind of change when you're 2-0 up at home, it's very different to Amorim making it when we're 1-0 down at home.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
We had something to hold on to. Maybe we shouldn't be attempting to hold on to what we've got when we're playing Brentford at home, but at this stage of the season, it's the results that matter.
Yeah. And I think Amorim, it's not the sort of change that Amorim was criticised for, because it was a change of system. It was addressing a problem.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
The sort of thing Amorim was criticised for was changing personnel, but refusing to change the system under any circumstances.
Yeah.
And
making a like-for-like change at centre-back in the back 3 whilst losing the game.
Yeah, if he'd made a seemingly defensive substitution that changed the system and allowed other players to play in different positions, then it's a lot harder to criticise that. It's also a lot harder to criticise it when it works.
Yeah.
Carrick, kept a clean sheet for 87 minutes of that game, against a good combative Brentford side who have scored plenty of goals this season. Lammens helped in that, and we didn't get the clean sheet in the end, but I think it's like you say, at this point in the season, that result last night is huge. If that had gone to 2-2, it would have been a devastating for our momentum and devastating for we need the points.
Yeah.
So I think he's entirely justified in doing it. The thing that being sort of reactive and not proactive in that situation as a team is fine. The issue that everyone is raising is if we are to be challenging for major trophies next season, we do want to be more proactive. We want to control these games.
Yeah.
And I believe that Carrick is playing this way because of the limitations of his squad and because of he's doing it sort of out of necessity.
Yeah.
Some people are taking the worst case scenario, which is this is the only way Carrick is capable of playing, and this is the ceiling of his team, is to play without the ball and to allow cede momentum and territory to Brentford at home. And I think that's a very pessimistic way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But that's the decision. That's the read that the people at the club have to try and make. Is this, because Carrick is entirely justified this season in getting these results.
Yeah. I feel like surely a manager is justified in getting these results, however they do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. For this season, I mean, if he got these results next season, over the whole course of a whole season, then that's fair enough.
Like we're 12 points off the top of the league or something?
Yeah.
And he came in mid-January.
Absolutely. And we have a considerably worse squad than the top two.
Yeah.
But there is a belief, and I think it is true, that in order to win major trophies, you need to be a progressive attacking team. A more dominant team than we are.
Yeah.
We've never seen a team win the league without being a dominant team. Well, maybe Leicester, but I think
they're anomaly.
Yeah, people consider Jose's Chelsea as defensive and reactive, but they weren't 80% of the time.
Yeah.
They were able to play specific systems in specific games to get results.
Yeah, and they would take the lead and then be defensive and dominate. It's still dominance in a sense that the team can't get the ball off them or just can't get through them.
Yeah.
And that's them dictating how they want the game to be played.
And people say the same of Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
But Atletico Madrid play that way in the Champions League and against Real Madrid away, but 18 of their league games, or 17 of their league opposition, they are the dominant side and they score plenty of goals and they play expansive football. Yeah. So I think the very harsh read of it is this is the limit of Carrick's ability is to play this way and therefore he shouldn't be given the job. I think my personal belief, and I think yours too, is that with different profiles in a different scenario, he would play differently and is capable of doing that. But that's the $64,000 question, is whether that's the case.
Yeah, I think the people might be justified in saying he's a limited manager and he's not fit for the United job just in terms of what he's shown in his managerial career.
Yeah.
But in terms of what he's done as United manager, I don't think you can argue that really.
No.
Because we do have a limited squad and he's absolutely got the best out of it.
Yeah.
You can't, no one, I don't believe that any manager in world football realistically could have got much better results.
No. And
I mean,
think
in hypothetically, a manager could only win like 3 more games because he's won 9 out of 13, is it?
Yeah.
So he could get maybe 10 more points than Carrick's got.
Yeah. And I think another manager could have come in and shown more, shown a more progressive tactic.
Yeah.
And without the results or without as good results. But I think you can't say that isn't something Carrick could have done.
Yeah.
Because there's no evidence of that. The evidence is Carrick has come in to get points and got points. So he's done the job that's been asked of him.
Yeah.
The issue is if he doesn't do the job that's asked of him next.
Yeah, in both of those scenarios, you have to look at... So with Carrick, we have to look at how much of it is down to the limitations of the squad.
Yeah.
And what's he sacrificing in order to get results? Is that worth it? And then if the manager comes in who plays really attacking football and the results don't quite go your way, you have to look at, well, if we had the better players, would the results be better?
Yeah, which is what we did with Amorim in his first season.
Yeah, and then we got the better players and they weren't better. So maybe it's better to try it this way around this time.
Yeah, maybe. I think showing that, like we said last week, the job on paper is to get points on the board. That is the job. So if you believe this is the best approach to get points on the board, then go for it. I think even if he did this all of next season and we finished with a similar points total, then maybe people could say, right, well, can we evolve past this?
Yeah.
But I think it's way too early to be saying it's time to evolve past this now.
We're not going to get any better than this. We need to see if we can stay being this good first.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough.
We're now at a point where, with 4 games to go, not wanting to tempt fate, I think we can say we'll be in the Champions League next season. So that's what Carrick was brought in to do. When he came in, there was an real opportunity there to go and get Champions League football. Yeah. And he's gone and done that as early as he could have done.
Yeah. I think they've been entirely justified in their choices. Yeah. Their they've not got too much right in the manager department.
No.
But I think sacking Amorim when they did and getting Carrick has been vindicated, and he's proven a very effective points collector in this. He couldn't have done much better, like you said.
No, it's probably the toughest decision they'll have to make now.
Yeah.
Although it might not be tougher than whether or not to keep Ten Hag. That was pretty difficult
they really
decision, and they
didn't
got it
seem
wrong.
to want to keep him.
No,
spoke to everybody else they could.
Yeah, they got that wrong. I don't think they found the decision of who to appoint to replace Ten Hag very difficult. I think they identified Amorim and said, let's go get him. The decision to sack Amorim, they should have found that easier and done it sooner, probably. Yeah. But then they got the decision right to appoint Carrick.
Yeah.
And I think the right decision would be to appoint Carrick. Probably it's not going to be a 5-year deal for him. It'd probably be more like 2 years. But right now, with the candidates available, it's looking increasingly likely that he will, and that he should be the United manager next season.
Yeah, I think if you set your expectations for next season as another top 4 finish, a decent run in the Champions League, and a decent run in the Cups, then I think worst case scenario is you get Carrick, you give Carrick the job, it's too big for him, he can't handle the schedule, then the managerial landscape's probably looking much healthier in October, November, and I don't think any of those targets would be beyond if you brought in you say, right, well, we were hoping to give Carrick a good run, it's proved too big for him, get someone else in. I don't think it's a case of you've written the season off.
No, and I hope we don't make it so we have to pay Carrick a ridiculous amount of money for sack him.
You'd hope not. I think that's one of the main benefits of the Carrick appointment is that it's cheap.
It's cheap.
So I think that's me being very pessimistic, is if they do have to sack him because it's the wrong decision, then I think they'll do it with enough time to still achieve basically the same goals next season.
Yeah.
It's not a case of starting again. And they're probably, if you consider that all national team candidates are ineligible this summer, there's probably a better landscape for managers a few months into next season.
Yeah.
But that's a very worst case scenario. I think they will give Carrick the job, and I think he will do a good enough job to last a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then
we don't know. We can't really know whether he'll be able to do the job that everyone wants to do at United.
Yeah. I think people will inevitably compare it to the Solskjaer tenure. Yeah. I think Solskjaer did hit a ceiling and did plateau.
Yeah.
I think he probably could have left after the Europa League final.
Yeah. But it was a pretty high ceiling that he got to.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was higher than
league performance.
Higher than any manager before him or since, other than Sir Alex. So some people will argue that Jose's trophies were more than Ollie's league positions, but that's a different debate. I think they will be less sentimental again.
Yeah.
And if it is clear that we've reached some sort of plateau, I think they'll be more likely to pull a trigger and upgrade.
Yeah.
As we've seen with players that people like, and they've made sort of quite ruthless decisions there. So I think I'm optimistic for next season. I'm optimistic for Carrick getting the job.
And do you think he will get the job? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's too risky to appoint anyone else.
Yeah.
There are very few managers who I would be confident are an upgrade.
Yeah.
And some people will say, given Carrick's CV, there's hundreds of managers that are an upgrade, but none of them have been United manager.
Yeah.
I think the obvious name on everyone's list is Luis Enrique. He's as you've said, why would he leave Paris?
He's certainly not for United. I think he'll sign. Everyone seems to think now. Well, people who know their stuff seem to think he's going to sign a new deal.
Yeah.
And obviously we'd love him, but it's not a realistic appointment.
He spoke about the squad he wanted to build there and the ideas he has for that project going forwards. I think he would be very difficult to extract.
Yeah.
Other names that people have said, Nagelsmann, Simeone, these are all going to be very, very expensive managers.
Yeah. Who've never
managed in the Premier League, never managed, not won major trophies. Simeone's won La Liga
a couple of times.
Nagelsmann's won Bundesliga, but neither of them have got a Champions League.
No.
So
Simeone doesn't speak a word of English.
yeah,
I can't imagine him managing in the Premier
Nagelsmann wears
League
trousers that are too tight
and rides a skateboard to train.
So they've obviously got flaws, these managers.
Yes.
And then you look at the crop of Premier League managers. There's, Iraola, Glasner. We've never seen someone do that. There's been one person who's done that transition to the level that would be good enough to consider it a success, and that's Pochettino.
Yeah.
And I think that was a perfect storm of an amazing young team that was very mouldable, the meta of the Premier League suiting him perfectly, and obviously he dictated that.
And what he did was finished in the sum of his achievements was finishing in the Champions League a few times, getting to a Champions League final and losing.
Yeah.
So he didn't, he did a very good job at Spurs.
Yeah. And that's a good, that wouldn't be good enough to be considered a success at United, a successful United manager. All the other examples have gone quite badly.
Yeah.
Most recently, Thomas Frank is brought to mind.
Graham Potter.
Yeah. It's a very difficult thing to do. And then, if you want the sort of up-and-coming young coach from a foreign league without the, sort of the relative success candidate, a manager who, if you could transfer their relative success to United, then they would be a success. That's not worked either. That's gone historically badly the last two times we've done it.
Yeah. I mean, Liverpool did something similar, and
it worked initially.
It did, yeah. And I think it looks like he's going to stay now, but there's certainly been... They had a much better squad for him to come into and get the best out of straight away. And then when he started to put his own stuff in, it's gone worse.
Yeah. So I think
we're in a different place to where Liverpool were when Klopp left.
Yeah. They would have to, in order to not give it to Carrick, they would have to be confident that we will be at least this good next season.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of those options I am confident of, and all of them are more expensive than keeping Michael Carrick.
Yeah.
So I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, I do, and I think we can be pretty happy with that, really.
Yeah, I've there's a slight hesitancy.
Yeah, but there's a question mark over everyone who's appointed. Like you've just said, there's no one available who is undeniably the right choice.
No,
everyone's got question marks. So
we shall.
Are we putting our faith in Michael Carrick? We're officially endorsing him as a podcast.
There's one thing that needs to change. He needs a new chant.
Yeah. It especially doesn't work as a manager because Paul. It's not hard to believe he's not Scholes. Well, it is. No, it's not hard to believe he's not Scholes as a manager. It's good that he's nothing like Scholes was when his 4-game spell as Oldham manager.
Yeah. Scholes doesn't want to be a manager.
No,
and that's fine. They weren't particularly similar as players.
No,
it didn't make that much
and
sense.
they played together a lot of the time.
That must have been quite easy to believe it's not Scholes when he stood next to Paul Scholes.
Yeah. So he does need a better song, but all of our players need better songs at the minute.
Yeah. There's a real lack of creativity in that. We need Pete Boyle to go on it.
Yeah.
Put some feelers out.
Yeah. But I think we can say that Carrick is our preferred candidate at this stage.
Yeah. That's an official Red Army reaction endorsement.
It is. Yes, you heard it here first. Well, you wouldn't hear it anywhere else.
No. And that, carries a lot of weight.
It does. It really does.
In certain circles.
Yeah. The polls will swing in Michael Carrick's favour now.
Yeah, I think so. We've not talked. Should we talk about Sesko's goal?
Yeah, and Bruno's assist.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad for Sesko, but as soon as he scored, everyone was chanting Bruno's name because Bruno's got up to 19 assists for the season, which felt harsh on Ben. But he got his moment. He got his big leap and punch the air, which everyone likes.
Yeah,
great for the photographers.
Yeah, and it was a good goal from him. Obviously, Bruno carried the ball up the pitch, waited for the right moment, and played the pass. He did his job, but it wasn't a tap-in for Sesko.
No.
There's been plenty of chances like that where he's just hit it first time or taken a bad touch and given it to the defender. But he did it right.
Yeah.
Composed finish, which is great to see from him. 10 goals in the league, which I don't know if you'd have said to me, would you take 10 goals for Sesko in the league? I don't know if I would have said yes at the start of the season. But the way the season's gone, I think we can be very happy with 10. Obviously,
Yeah.
you might get 11 or 12, but generally it's a respectable tally for his first season.
Yeah, it's not going to go down as a vintage goal-scoring United season. I think we've got sort of 58 league goals.
Yeah, and that's basically like 5 players are around 10 goals each.
Yeah.
And then there's a few with like 1 each.
Yeah, I think Casemiro has helped to top that up. I think Mbeumo and Cunha's totals would have liked to see a bit higher, I think, from them. Cunha has been a bit sporadic and Mbeumo's been a bit hot and cold.
Yeah, they're both on 8 currently.
Are they the same thing, sporadic and hot and cold? I think I know what I mean by the difference, but I don't know if that's inherent.
Mbeumo's been hot, cold, whereas Cunha's been more hot, cold.
Yeah, that's not a very eloquent way of saying it, but it does get the point across.
Yeah.
Shesko has, I think, done as well as we expected him to this season.
Yeah, especially given how he started, there would have been a point where you wouldn't have expected him to get 10 goals.
No, it's and the other aspects of his game, I think, have come on. He's more confident picking up the ball in other areas as well.
There were a few times yesterday where he received the ball from the goalkeeper from a long kick upfield, and he did bring it down and lay it off and make it stick up there.
Yeah,
which has been something he's failed to do a few times.
Yeah,
so it's good to see him developing his game.
Absolutely, it's something that I've been pushing a lot. Is developing individual players. It's something that doesn't happen at United anywhere near enough.
Yeah,
I was reading the thing about Mateus Nunes and Kusanov, who have developed and learnt how to play their positions so much by just playing for Pep for 2 years, or I think probably playing for Man City for 2 years. They positionally they're much better than where they were in terms of prep, in terms of reading situations. They're much better than where they were. And
when
that
Kusanov came in, he was all over the place, and now he looks really good.
Yeah.
And that just seems to happen a lot with City players.
But it doesn't happen by accident.
No.
A phrase I saw on Twitter was, if you buy raw, you have to be prepared to cook it. And there's too many players have come into United as raw talent and stayed as raw talent for 3 years, and then everyone gets frustrated, and then we make a massive loss.
Not everyone likes carpaccio.
No. But even carpaccio, you've got to prepare it very carefully.
Yeah.
You can't just eat a raw bit of steak.
You can just eat a raw bit of steak. It's not very nice, I suppose.
Yeah. That's, like Lenny Oro,
he's just a raw bit of steak.
He's probably, I think so. I think he's a good steak. He's great. He's maybe not grade A5 Wagyu, but, he's like a good bit of sirloin,
Yeah.
But, if you want the return, you have to put the work in. And I think we've seen Shesko and Yoro in Heaven and Lammens. They are adding things to their game. They are getting better and
they're better than they were when we signed them.
Yeah, and that needs to continue because none of them are good enough to be considered amongst the best in the world. And if you want to be a United first teamer, you should be considered one of the best in the world.
Yeah, and Mainu as well. He's obviously. A lot of it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Amorim just didn't rate him and didn't play him. But there have been times under Carrick where he's not developed as much as you might have hoped. But then in the last few games, he really has been that great player we know he can be again. Particularly the last 2 games.
He was really good last night. Good against Chelsea as well.
Yeah. And, hope that trajectory can continue as well. It looks like he's set to sign a new deal.
Yeah.
It looks to be all agreed. So... That was also touch and go for a long time. I can't believe he was very close to leaving in January.
Yeah,
probably only on loan at the time, but still, it didn't speak to his long-term future at United being a success.
Yeah, and it's the state of the squad where it is. He's the only one really. They're the only first-team academy player.
Yeah, he's
getting regular minutes since Garnacho and Rashford have moved out.
Yeah,
Heaven doesn't count. No, he doesn't officially count because he was on the bench for the Arsenal first team, I think. He may have started for the Arsenal first team.
Came on in the League Cup, I think.
So, it's Mainu or no one.
Yeah.
The next crop haven't really come through yet, so we really couldn't afford to lose him.
No. We've seen Jim Thwaites and Shea Lacey on the bench a few times. Shea Lacey obviously made those 2 appearances, but if they were all there was for our academy representation in the squad, that would be a worrying sign for United.
It's also tricky because it's tricky for them because there's lots of really big academy games coming up, and obviously the academy is subservient to the first team, and that's
what it's there for.
That's what it's there for. But if you're asking a player to miss the Youth Cup final to sit on the bench, or to miss like the Premier League Cup final, which we're also in, or
we lost the Premier League Cup final.
Oh, sorry, I can't remember what it is now. The under-21s equivalent.
No, as in they were in that, but they've just played it and lost.
Yes, sorry,
and they've also got the Youth Cup final coming up.
Then big league games as well coming up. They are also important, and these milestones are important for youth players, and it's not fair on the youth players who aren't going to make it to the first team if they get battered because all of their good players are sat on the bench for the first team.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. You have to you have to get the balance right between development and what's best for development.
Yeah. It's why you need a few cup games.
Yeah, to actually get blood these players. Hopefully, we can see more of that next season as well with an expanded schedule.
Yeah. Is that it for the Brentford game? Do we need to talk about the rest of football?
Yeah.
Not the rest of the game. The other games, FA Cup semi-finals. Annoying to see City make the 4th FA Cup final in a row, which
Very
is
disappointing.
a record for them.
But they've not won either the last 2.
No. I didn't even get to enjoy. I wasn't watching the game live, but I didn't get to enjoy when Southampton scored because I checked my phone and it was 1-1 all of a sudden. Which is annoying. They're obviously very good. They have a very good rotated side that they can play in the cups. Yeah. They're not rotating in the league because you can't really at this stage of the season, but to make it to the FA Cup final with that rotated aside, they've got a very, very well-assembled squad, so, fair play to them, I suppose.
They've got 4 games in 10 days coming up, I think.
Yeah, the fixtures have just been announced today. So they've got Palace on the Wednesday, FA Cup final on the Saturday, and then they're playing again the following midweek against Bournemouth. So Arsenal will be happy with that they've got such a close run of games.
But they've got the Champions League coming up still, so.
Yeah, Champions League semi-finals start tonight. I was hopeful, I've been saying that I'm confident that Arsenal won't win the Champions League. Yeah. Looking at the Atletico games, I said the other day that there'll be 2 terrible games probably. Not a lot going on, and they'll probably be 0-0 or 1-0 either way, both of them. Arsenal beat Atletico Madrid 4-0 in the group stage. Yeah. And they also beat Bayern Munich 3-1.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That's worried me now.
Well, company said of losing in September, we don't want to be the best team in September, and they've steadily got better throughout the season.
And PSG weren't the best team in September last season.
Yeah, an issue with Arsenal is that they have been on the edge of on the very limit of their capabilities. Yeah, since the first week of the season, and every game has been a slog, and they are quite knackered. And Bayern Munich have had quite, they have quite an easy domestic schedule. So, and not that they're playing Bayern Munich. Atletico Madrid also, like we say, are much more dominant. Maybe not much more dominant, but they were capable of putting games to bed domestically quicker than this Arsenal team are. Arsenal, who were still fighting in the 98th minute against Newcastle.
Yeah, and Bayern Munich have won the league.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that English teams don't win the Champions League as often as perhaps they should is that Arsenal have got very important league games going on at the same time.
Yeah, and Atletico Madrid aren't doing very well in the league. Yeah, so they can prioritise the Champions League. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should still be confident that Arsenal won't win it, but it doesn't bear thinking about really the possibility of Arsenal winning the Champions League. No, because then they wouldn't even care that if City won the league and Arsenal bottled it,
they'd both be happy.
And Arsenal then won the Champions League, especially if the City won the FA Cup and the League Cup as well.
It'd be really
that is the nightmare scenario. I do have nightmares about it regularly.
I know. I thought we'd ruled out the nightmare scenario of when City went out of the City went out of the Champions League and Arsenal went out of the FA Cup, which is sort of
no one can win a quadruple
or our treble
or the treble.
Yeah,
City can win a treble.
Yeah, but so that those nightmare scenarios have been ruled out, but it's not going to be a relaxing end to the season for the hate watchers.
No. Dramatic scenes in the relegation battle.
It was.
They were at the same time, both at 3:00 on a Saturday, which seems a rare occurrence these days.
Yeah.
For those of us who want Spurs to go down, there was a nervy few minutes where Spurs took the lead and West Ham were then drawing.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I would have taken them both winning really before the game. I think.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Well, I mean, this is the thing with Spurs. Someone said it's mental how this is the first time Spurs have won in 6 months, and it still happened to be an objectively awful day for them because they didn't come out of the relegation zone, and Simmons did his ACL.
Yeah,
they're in a bit of a rut.
Yeah,
you could say.
If they hadn't even beaten Wolves, and West Ham had won,
Yeah,
it might have been too much for them to climb out then.
Yeah,
2 points with 4 games to go. It's very doable. Much stranger things have happened, but the fact that they won a game and didn't gain any ground.
Yeah,
and Forest won emphatically, which puts them a good few points ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's moved the needle really. I don't think it's made it more likely or less likely.
No,
which will have to change as we get closer to the end of the season.
Yeah, they've got Villa away on Saturday, Spurs, which
tough game.
Sunday actually. Yeah, very tough game. Villa are a very good side. So if they get put to the sword there, if they go there and win it, then you would imagine that would goad them, galvanise them enough to stay up. But
yeah,
if they go there and lose, we can carry on for another week.
It's crazy that it's still going on.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's enjoyable. It's a shame that it's only one space and it now looks like only 2 teams.
Yeah.
And the Champions League race looks pretty much done as well.
Yeah, we've still got title race.
Yeah, we have.
We've got
but I don't like it. The
no,
teams
that's true.
Going for it. Whereas the relegation fight, I can really root for one of the outcomes.
Yeah. I mean, we're not still in the title race. We're still mathematically able to win the title.
I think so, just about, but we're hanging on.
Yeah. What are we 12? I think we are 12 points behind City.
Yeah.
And therefore Arsenal.
But we've played an extra game. I think, are we 9 points behind?
Oh, yeah.
Played an extra game.
Yeah, that was before yesterday.
Yeah.
And 12 behind Arsenal.
Yeah, with 4 games to go. So it's not going to happen.
I know.
But it could happen.
It could.
That's what we need to remember. It's the big one on Sunday.
It is indeed.
Liverpool at home. We won at Anfield for the first time in 10 years this season. So I'm prepared for us to lose.
That means it's been at least 10 years since we did the double. I presume we did the double in 2016.
Yeah, we did. Both of Van Gaal's seasons we did the double over Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which is, not to be sniffed at. I don't know if we've done it since then. Oh, yeah, no, we can't have done it since then. Yeah, like you say. It'd be very nice. We don't need to beat them for Champions League. We're 3 points ahead of them currently, so they would probably go ahead of us if they beat us, which it'd be nice to finish above Liverpool. I don't know the last time we did that.
Klopp's last season, didn't they finish 4th?
Yeah, when we finished 3rd under Ten Hag, would have been then. Yeah,
but it hasn't happened very often.
No,
it'd be nice to see.
In that 10-year period since we last beat them, they've finished above us quite a few times.
Yeah,
which is unpleasant. So if we could, it's always fun beating Liverpool. Regardless of how we play.
It would be annoying if in a season that everyone has concluded has been a abject failure for Liverpool, they didn't still finish above us.
Yeah.
It would.
Got to take our chances to finish above them when we're having a bad season.
Yeah. I think, as I've said in the past, I don't know if I still hold to it just because of the way the other games have gone, but I think this is a really big game for Carrick.
Yeah.
In terms of his prospects of getting the job. I think if it's a narrow defeat, I think it probably still does get the job. I don't think it moves the needle very much. If we get battered, I think it's quite difficult to then appoint him. You don't want to hire someone who already has getting battered by Liverpool on their CV. They usually sack people after get battered by Liverpool.
Yeah.
So
no one wants to get battered by Liverpool.
No.
If you're auditioning for the United job, that's like one of the worst things you can do.
Yes. I think a win, even a
any
narrow
kind of
win, I think basically guarantees it.
Yeah. We've had some painful memories of playing Liverpool at home.
We have.
While we've been there.
Let's
some of the most painful memories we've had as Liverpool fans, as United fans. But I'm feeling good about this one.
Yeah, they're
Going into it, there's been plenty where going into it you fear for us.
Yeah,
and often those fears have been realised.
But his Carrick's record against big teams is
very good.
Perfect. He's beaten. If you look at the teams around us, he's beaten Villa, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. He didn't beat Bournemouth, and they're the next in the league.
He beat Brentford and Everton. They're both up there.
We haven't played Brighton yet.
No.
So, his record against these big sides is very good.
It's very good, yeah.
The proactivity and reactivity we've been talking about suits these big games. Even at home, it's.
It didn't matter against City at home.
Absolutely not. So, he's got a good record, and Liverpool aren't very good. I think we have every right to feel confident.
Yeah. With the fixtures being confirmed till the end of the season today.
Well, sort of confirmed.
Yeah. We do know. What we do know is that yesterday was our last Monday game of the season.
Yeah.
So that's something to celebrate.
We might have a Friday
game. We
may
may well have a Friday game, yeah. We won't find out until a week before the game.
Yeah.
Whether it's on a Friday or Monday. But we appreciated our league game being moved to the Friday last season when we were in the Europa League final.
Yes, yeah.
Not that it helped us too much in the end. But it's a weird situation where United's game and Liverpool's game against Villa are both scheduled either on the Friday or the Sunday.
Schrodinger's fixture computer.
Yeah, one will be there and one will be there, but we won't know which one's which for a while. I mean, it's ridiculous that City's game against Palace has taken this long to be rearranged.
Yeah.
And it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Fans haven't got infinitely flexible diaries and infinite cash on hand to book hotels and trains and everything. They're very much not the priority when making these decisions.
No. But hopefully Arsenal can build up a few points ahead of City by the time they play that. Because if they'd played it with the opportunity to go ahead of Arsenal or opportunity to catch Arsenal up, then that would have been bad.
Yes.
But the fact that Arsenal will play a couple of games before City do, they can build up that lead and then put the pressure on City in that game.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can do that. Yeah, we'll both be there at Old Trafford, I believe, on Sunday.
I think so.
Only 2 games left. Got to make the most of them. Casemiro, only 2 games left at Old Trafford. Yeah. We think.
Other players that will also leave.
Yeah, Xerxes could be his. Yeah. Agate.
I know.
Might not have many games left.
It's going to be so hard to say goodbye to them.
Yeah, Agate, I'll shed it to.
Yeah, Casemiro did more good stuff last night than all of the good stuff Agate's done in his entire United career.
Yeah.
I think he probably won more duels last night than Agate's won in his entire United career.
Probably.
He won like 26.
Yeah. Agate scored
interceptions.
A better goal than Casemiro's goal last night.
Did he?
Yeah, away at Everton. We drew 2-2. Agate scored a good goal.
Yeah.
Volley. Okay. So that's the one thing Casemiro didn't do last night that Agate has done.
Yeah, in terms of eclipsing Agate's entire United career.
Yeah, but it's close.
Yeah.
He did score, so, not far off.
It'll be sad to see them go.
Yes.
But, we've got to move on. And next season, it's not, like I said, I don't think we're not predicting an entire rebuild of the whole team.
No.
We saw 10 players leave last summer. I don't think we'll see that this year.
No, but hopefully quite a few come in.
Yeah, you'd hope.
With at least 8 more games.
Yeah.
At the very least, you'd hope for, a win in one of the cups, to get to the second round of one of the cups.
One win in one of the cups would be nice.
We didn't have this season, and no Europe. It really is the least games it's possible for us to play.
Yeah.
So I've not enjoyed that. That's one thing I'll be happy with next season is more games. More United is always better.
Yeah.
No, it's not always. Sometimes I don't want us to play again. If we have a bad defeat,
yeah,
I wish we weren't.
More good United is better.
Yeah.
And we are good United
what
at the
we
moment.
will be next season. I think that's all we've got time for. You've got to dash off to the old pub quiz, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got to stir fry some vegetables first.
Nice. You taking them with you?
Yeah, it's bring a. Can't think of a joke.
You should leave that.
Bring your stir-fried vegetables to the quiz there.
You get a point for that.
Yeah.
I mean, people. The pub quizzes have introduced all kinds of daft rounds.
You have to do a drawing of some.
Make a model out of plasticine.
Yeah, not for me. That.
No.
Questions
and answers.
The quiz that we prefer has become less question and answer based.
Yeah, and we don't like that.
Yeah, they have ruined the music round by introducing a game of Boggle. It's sad to see, but it's kept us going, you know.
Yeah,
we're
gotta
not quitting.
keep it fresh, you know.
Anyway,
just like those vegetables.
Oh yeah, so fresh. This must be quite boring. Although
I did say while we were off air for a second that I thought this episode had been quite humorless.
Yeah.
So this stir fried veg bit has really,
Nice.
amped up the laughs.
Things up. A lot of our listeners are familiar with the pub quiz of which we speak.
Yes, they've been most of them.
Yeah, but not all of them. You know, as we were checking the stats before, you know, there's a good sort of, 10 people who we don't know who occasionally listen, I think.
Yeah, some episodes you can probably figure out which 5 people listen to it.
I should hope so. I should hope so.
Yeah.
People who've told me they've listened to it.
But there are enough people who've listened to some of them that there's got to be a few we don't know there.
And
or at least people we know who've never told us that they'd listened.
And we appreciate every one of you.
We do, yes. Make sure you keep following us. Keep it locked to our social media.
Yeah.
And
leave a comment.
Yes,
not had any comments for about a month.
Yeah, Kieran, can you please leave us another comment?
Come on, pull your weight out. No, don't pull your weight out. That's not a phrase. Pull your finger out.
Yes.
But also everyone else who isn't Kieran, you and Mike, who in fairness to, you can leave comments as well.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from any of you. I appreciate the people whose surname is Hanley are reluctant to comment.
Yeah.
Because they think it looks like nepotism.
Yeah, but it's a common name. Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Nushka Hanley, the ballerina.
Yeah. Grant Hanley.
Yes.
Who's played for Norwich.
Scottish footballer, yeah.
If any of those are watching, they can comment.
Yes. Nice one, Grant. See you at Christmas.
No, he's not related to
us. No. Yes, well, thank you everyone for listening and watching. And we'll be back next week, so we'll see you out there.